Yeah. Saturday night, 10:15. Same old machines, turning old stories again. Let it spin, let it spin. Yeah. Yeah. Coins in the laundromat, rain on the glass. Mama folding work shirts while the late trains passed. I was 12 by the dryer with a pen in my hand, drawing little skylines, making invisible plans. Mr. Ray ran the counter, kept the radio low. Old soul through the static, horns warming the glow. Said young blood, move patient, every fast road bends. It ain't how loud you arrive, it's who's there at the end. Outside my crew waited by the basketball gate, talking big about money like success couldn't wait. We had $5 dreams and a $2 meal, but the jokes hit rich and the friendship felt real. My man Chris wore a chain that was plated, not gold. Still walked like a king through the February cold. Said one day every stranger gon' recognize me. I said just make sure your own people still know who they see. The kick hit dusted from a car down the block. Snare crack dry while the warm guitar knocked. We were young, moving smooth, hiding fear in the grin, thinking every locked door only needed us to kick in.
Coins in the laundromat spinning through the night. Little pieces of our lives underneath fluorescent light. Oh, dust upon the record, deep bass in the floor. We were washing off the struggle just to wear it once more. Now the old place is gone, but the memory stays warm, like a soul sample rising through the middle of a storm. Every time those drums roll, I remember where I sat.
Yeah.
Counting coins in the laundromat.
Yeah, years later came back where the old building stood. New glass, clean signs, said luxury neighborhood. No radio behind the counter, no chairs by the wall. Just a polished white lobby that remembered nothing at all. Saw Chris near the corner with his daughter holding tight. No chain on his neck, but his whole face looked bright. He said funny how we chased what we thought made us grown. Now the richest part of life is getting everybody home. We laughed about the winners, the machine shaking loud. Our mama made a palace from a tired little crowd. She could fold all our worries with the clothes in her hands. Never spoke about the pressure, just kept making the plans. I used to think survival meant you never look scared. Now I know what means admitting when the weight should be shared. Real pride ain't a wall that keeps the whole world outside. It's returning every call and keeping love on your side. So I took one old quarter that I carried for years, held it up to the light through a blur of the tears. Not because being broke was a beautiful thing, but because that little room taught me what wealth really means. Now the strings fall soft while the horn answers back. Tape warmth in the rhythm, every drum slightly cracked. Time to clean up the buildings, change the names on the map, but it can't wash the soul from the coins in the laundromat.
Coins in the laundromat spinning through the night. Little pieces of our lives underneath fluorescent light. Oh, dust upon the record, deep bass in the floor. We were washing off the struggle just to wear it once more. Now the old place is gone, but the memory stays warm, like a soul sample rising through the middle of a storm. Every time those drums roll, I remember where I sat.
Yeah.
Counting coins in the laundromat. Old machine.
Young dreams,
Some places disappear,
but they never stop turning inside you. Yeah. Rain past midnight. City lights bleeding through the windshield. One old number. One call overdue. Found a faded matchbook in the pocket of my coat. Name written on the cover with a number and a note. If the night gets heavy, brother, call me anytime. 10 years beneath the dust, still I knew that crooked line. It was Vic from the basement where we learned to make beats. Old sampler on the milk crate, wires running through the heat. He could turn a church record to a prayer for the block. Make the road sound lonely, make the whole room stop. We were 17 and certain we would never lose touch. Had no money in our jeans, but the future felt close. Then his mother got sick and he disappeared upstate. I got busy chasing music, let the months become late. Every year I heard a rumor Vic was driving, Vic was clean, Vic was sleeping in the shelter, Vic was nowhere to be seen. Truth gets bent around the corners where the old friends fade. So I kept his little number, never called, just say. The sax moved low through the rain outside the bar. I stared at that matchbook like a map to where we are. Pride said leave it buried, regrets and not tonight. So I stepped beneath the awning and dialed under the yellow light.
One old number in the middle of the rain, calling through the distance, calling through the pain. Dust upon the drums, deep bass underneath. Sometimes the hardest words are the ones that set you free. The city keeps its secrets, but the heart remembers well. Every name we never called, every story we won't be.
4 rings, then a silence, then a voice worn thin. Who is this? I said it's me. He said, where you been? No anger in the question that was harder than blame. Just 2 men holding years on opposite ends of a name. He said his mother passed in the room near Albany. He kept making little beats but lost the energy. Said I thought you made it big, figured you forgot the crew. I said I made some records but I never outgrew you. He laughed like the basement, like the dust and old wires, like the night we burned a speaker trying to push the volume higher. Then his voice turned quiet, man, I nearly disappeared. Funny how you called tonight, I've been fighting something fierce. I didn't offer sermons, didn't dress the moment clean. Just said, stay on the phone, tell me everything you mean. The gospel sample trembled from the bar behind my back, while the rain drew silver rivers down the windows of the cabs. We spoke into the morning, put a pale line in the sky, about mothers' broken promises and men afraid to cry. Before we hung up, Vic said I still got that first beat. I said bring it back to Brooklyn, let's give that soul some feet. 3 weeks later, basement studio, coffee, cable, smoke, same hands on the sampler, same rhythm in the joke. No miracle fixed every place, the years are scarred, but the first kick hit and neither man felt quite as far. Calling through the pain, dust upon the drums, deep bass underneath. Sometimes the hardest words are the ones that set you free. The city keeps its secrets, but the heart remembers well. Every friend who finds the courage to come back and finally tell. Yeah. The match burned out, number stayed. Some bridges don't collapse, they just wait in the dark. For somebody to call. In the morning, city got one eye open. Black coffee, no sugar, let it breathe. Black coffee at 2, rain drawing on the glass. Neon from the diner throwing shadows on the past. Dusty drums knocking like a fist against the door. Saxophone crying from the speaker by the floor. Old Joe behind the counter knew the graveyard crowd. Men who carry quiet pain but never spoken loud. He poured another cup, said you look like you ain't slept. I said sleep gets complicated when you're living with regret. Across the room sat Malik in a faded leather coat. Used to run the whole block with a promise in his throat. Now his hand shook softly when he reached the lighter flame. 10 years since we spoke, but I remembered every name. He said you heard about my brother, I just nodded at the steam. Another bright young soul swallowed somewhere in between. We were kids when we believed every scar made us tough. Never knew surviving wasn't always living enough. The gospel sample floated like a prayer behind the beat, while the city swept the rain toward the edges of the street. Malik said, I left him angry, last words were a lie. Then he stared into his coffee like the answer might rise. Black coffee, bitter truth in the cup. Some nights bring you down just to teach you to look up. Rose cores in the darkness, deep bass underneath. Every man has a story that he hides behind his teeth. The city keeps on moving while the old wounds remain. Like a saxophone calling through the windows in the rain. I said, brother, guilt's a room with no windows in the wall. You can spend your whole life there and still not change the fall. You can't speak to the dead, but you can honor what they knew. Be the man he kept believing was still buried inside you. We laughed, you still got verses. I said words kept me alive. Some meant pray in churches, some just rhymed to survive. Then he pulled a folded picture from the pocket near his heart. Two brothers on the rooftop before life split them apart. Said his son turns 12 Sunday, barely knows my face. I've been mailing them some money, but I never took my place. I said cash can cross a distance, but it can't become your hands. That boy don't need a hero, he just needs a man who stands. The diner clock hit 3 while the night buses rolled. Malik paid for both coffees, pulled his collar from the cold. Said I'm catching the first train going straight to Queens. For the first time that evening there was light inside his speech. A week later, got a message, just a photograph, no words. Malik with his nephew both smiling in the park. No miracle erased everything the years had done, but healing doesn't always need to finish to begin. Now I sit at that counter when my own mind gets loud, watching lonely people drift beneath the midnight clouds. Oh, Joe fills my cup, lets the record play deep. Some nights give you answers, some just teach you what to keep. Black coffee, attitude, bitter truth in a cup. Some nights bring you down just to teach you to look up. Rose cores in the darkness, deep bass underneath. Every man has a story that he hides behind his teeth. The city keeps on moving, but forgiveness knows your name. Like a saxophone rising through the windows in the rain. Yeah. Coffee went cold. Morning came slow. One train left the station. One man finally went home. Black coffee. 2 a.m. 2 a.m. Some people leave a room, but their love stays hanging by the door. Let it breathe. Yeah. Let it breathe. Your coat in the hallway, dust alone the sleeve. Still holding that winter from the night you had to leave. You were 18 working doubles, I was barely 13. You made dinner out of nothing, kept my school shirts clean. Mama stayed exhausted, daddy lived on the road. So you carried half the family like it weighed half a load. Never let me see you worried, never let the lights go dark. You would sing above the sirens just to calm my little heart.
Then a letter from Chicago said you found yourself a room. Had a job near the station,
little sunlight through the gloom. I was angry at the distance, thought you chose another life. Didn't know that sometimes leaving is how people survive. I kept your coat for years like a question on the wall. Too proud to say I missed you, too young to understand it all. Every time the guitar cried and the soul sample rose, I could hear your soft voice saying, little brother, keep close. Ooh, keep holding on. You're cold in the hallway, your name in my chest. You gave away your comfort so that I could have rest. Ooh, I'm still with you. Every mile between us, every year we couldn't mend. Love was never gone, it was waiting at the end. When the cold wind comes and I feel that old ache, I remember all the warmth you left in your wake.
Yeah. 20 years later, you came home in the rain. Same eyes, softer smile, silver touching your braids. You stood inside the doorway, saw the coat hanging there. Said you kept that old thing, I said it kept me aware. We sat beside the window while the slow drums played. Spoke about the silent years and the choices that we made. You said I called on birthdays, but I couldn't find the words. I said I heard your love beneath the things I never heard. Then you showed me your daughter in a photograph frame. She had my crooked smile and our grandmother's name. I laughed until the weight in the room finally broke. Some healing comes as thunder, ours arrived as a joke. I told you every good part of the man I became. Started with your tired hands and the nights you stayed away. You whispered we were children doing all that we knew. Then the strings rose warm as I handed the coat back to you. Now we call every Sunday, no occasion, no excuse. Cause time is too expensive to keep wasting on the truth. Let the deep bass roll while the soft voices blend. Sometimes home is just a door finally opening again. At the end, stay close. When the cold wind comes, there's a warmth I can't explain. Like you're cold in the hallway, still protecting me from rain. The hallway looks empty, but the doorway feels new. Some things we hold on to till they lead us back to truth. Back to you. Back to you. Some nights, you don't need directions. Just one light waiting in the distance. Yeah. Let it breathe. Let it breathe. Yeah, yeah. 2 in the morning, rain washing the street. Last train below me, slow drums underneath. I was walking with my pride and the weight in my chest, trying to outrun the truth, never stopping to rest. Your kitchen light was glowing through the 3rd floor blind. Same little window that has saved me 100 times. You You opened up the door, didn't ask where I've been. Just said food's on the stove, come and sit down again. I had lost my job Friday, kept it hidden all week. Thought a man lost his value when his pockets got weak. You said money leaks fast,
But your name still remains. Don't confuse what you're carrying with the worth in your veins.
then the guitar plays softly while the soul sample cry.
In the silence at the table, let me put down my pride. You reached across the distance I had built in my mind. Sometimes love is just a light saying you still got time. Come inside. You left the light on when I lost my way. Kept the little one for the end of the day. Ooh, I've been waiting. When the road turned cold and my faith was gone, I could still find home by the light you left on. No judgment in your eyes, no questions at the door. Just a place where my heart didn't have to fight no more.
Yeah, years pass, now you're older, moving slower through the room. Silver in your head, catching sunlight in the afternoon. I brought groceries on Sunday, fixed the lock by the stairs. You said, boy, sit down.
You don't have to earn being cared for.
That sentence took me back to the night I fell apart. When you fed an empty stomach and protected a tired heart. I said everything I built came from what you gave free. You smiled,
Then give it full.
that's enough payment for me. So I call my little brother when his voice sounds low. Tell him losing one season doesn't mean he can't grow. I leave my own light burning when he's out after dark. Cause the love that once saved you should become someone's spark. Now the
Bass moves deep while the soft strings rise. Female voices floating like a prayer through the night. I learned home ain't a building, it's a promise held strong. It's somebody staying near when the whole world moves on. You left the light on when I lost my way. Kept the little one for the end of the day. Ooh, you can come home. Road turned cold and my faith was gone. I could still find home by the light you left on. Stay close. No judgment in your eyes, no questions at the door. Just a place where my heart didn't have to fight no more.
The street went dark, the rain kept falling.
The one window stayed bright. The light you left on. The light you left on.
Yeah. Last train moving, city still awake. Let it ride. Yeah. Midnight on the platform, rain under the rails, blue lights in the distance telling unfinished tales. Old man with the paper, young boy with the dream. Everybody going somewhere, nothing quite what it seems. I had 20 in my pocket, heavy thoughts in my coat. A message from my mother and some words that I wrote. She said, call when you're safe, don't let the cold make you hard. But the street teaches distance when you're lowering your guard. My man Rico used to post by the corner cafe. Sharp talk, dark shades, always something to say. He could make the whole block laugh while his world fell apart. Some people hide the deepest wounds behind the brightest charm. Now his face lives faded on the wall by the train. Fresh flowers in the summer, wet candles in the rain. I don't glorify the ending nor romanticize the fall. I just wish we heard the silence underneath it all.
Last train rolling through the city after dark, carrying old memories and pieces of the heart. Dust upon the drums, cold air upon my face. Every stop reminds me of somebody and a place. We were searching for tomorrow in the shadows of the past. could disappear so fast.
Yeah, years later, same platform, cleaner shoes on my feet, same deep bass rising from a car across the street. I had keys to a home and some peace in my name, but the sound of those tracks made me 16 again. Saw Rico's little brother with a child of his own. He said life got quieter, but I'm learning to grow. We talked about forgiveness, all the anger we kept, how the strongest looking people sometimes suffer in depth. He said I used to blame him for the choice that he made. I said pain needs a villain when the truth feels afraid. Then the sax cried softly, train doors open wide. Two men letting years of buried sorrow step outside. So I called my mother before the signal turned weak. Said I'm safe and I love you, simple words hard to speak. She laughed, you getting older. I said maybe that's true. Growing up is understanding who is waiting for you. Now I move with less noise, keep my circle sincere. Real courage ain't pretending that you never feel fear. It's facing every shadow, letting old wounds depart. Catching one last train with an unguarded heart.
Last train rolling through the city after dark, carrying old memories and pieces of the heart. Dust upon the drums, cold air upon my face. Every stop reminds me of somebody and a place. We were searching for tomorrow in the shadows of the past. Never knew the longest nights could disappear so fast.
Yeah. Some trains take you forward, some take you back, and some just show you what you've been carrying. Next stop. Yeah. 2:15. City breathing through a cracked window. Some nights don't end, they just fade in the morning. Yeah. Ashes on the avenue, rain along the curb, yellow cabs moving like a sentence without words. Church quiet chop beneath the knock of the drums, while the sax spoke softly about the places we come from. I was standing near the corner where the pawn shop glowed, hands deep in my pockets carrying an Olo. Saw my man Dean step from the shadows of the train, same calm in his walk, different weight behind his frame. We were brothers back when winter came through every wall, sharing one pair of gloves, taking turns with the cold. He could turn an empty stairwell to a room full of laughs, but the smile got quieter when his father passed. He said, I've been driving every night just to stay out my head. Every red light brings me back to the last words he said. I asked, what were they? He looked down at his shoes. Don't spend your whole life proving you got nothing to lose. The bass rolled deep while the traffic moved slow. Two grown men with emotions we were taught not to show. No speech for the moment, just a hand on his sleeve. Sometimes staying beside someone is enough to believe. Ashes on the avenue, smoke beneath the moon. We keep saying there is time, then tomorrow comes too soon. Dust upon the record, heavy truth inside the groove. Everybody has a wound in the way they choose to move. The city never holds you, but it never lets you go. In the light you learn to show. Yeah, we walked toward the river where the skyline turned gray. He said, I blame myself for every word I didn't say. I was busy chasing pride, trying hard to be a man. Never called him when I should've, now I call and no one can. I say, guilt is like a landlord, it keeps raising what you owe. Till forgiveness opens windows in the room you couldn't grow. We laughed, you always rapping. I said, maybe that is true, but the rhyme is just a mirror when I'm talking back to you. He pulled in no photograph from the fold of his coat. His father in the work shirt by a half-painted boat. Said he never got to finish it. I said, finish it then. Some goodbyes become a doorway when you build where they end. 3 months later, Dean called from a yard near the bay. Said the boat is fresh, painting would touch water that day. He named it. Second morning, carved the letters by hand. Said I finally understand what he was trying to say, man. Now whenever night gets heavy and my own thoughts are cubes, I remember that old lesson about having nothing to lose. Real strength ain't staying frozen while your history burns. It's admitting what you carried and deciding where it turns. Ashes on the avenue, smoke beneath the moon. We keep saying there is time, then tomorrow comes too soon. Dust upon the record, heavy truth inside the groove. Everybody has a wound in the way they choose to move. The city never holds you, but it never lets you go. Leaves a little bit of darkness. In the light you learn to show. Yeah. Rain washes the sidewalk. Morning clears the smoke. You can't rewrite the ending, but you can live by what it spoke. Let it sell. Yeah. Old street, New Year's. Some lights never fade. Yeah. Old street. Yeah. Old slavery. Old streets. New Year. Yeah. Porch light glowing while the whole block slept. Mama counted bills, every promise she kept. Cold wind creeping through the crack in the frame, but the kitchen stayed warm when she called out my name. I was young, writing dreams on the back of receipts, learning pride from the people, making peace with defeat. Old heads played cards by the grocery store gate, talking slow like every word had been seasoned by fate. My man Ray had a radio held close to his chest, said the right kind of record made the hard days rest. We let the drums hit heavy, let the soul sample cry while the train crossed the darkness like a spark in the sky. No gold in our pockets, just hope in the lining. A few cracked windows, but the whole crew shining. I learned wealth ain't measured by the clothes that you wear, and Sue opens the door when nobody else cares. Porch light memories, dust in the groove, old pain in the rhythm, but the heart still moves. We made peace with the night, found a song in the rain, turned a handful of struggle into something that remained. Though the street signs change and the years roll by, I still see those windows when I close my eyes. Every road that I travel somehow carries me back to those porch light memories. Came back years later in a coat that fit right. Same moon on the rooftops, different names in the lights. Ray owned a small shop where the old deli stood. Said I never left the block, I just gave something good. We spoke about the friends who had faded from view. Some found better mornings, some never made it through. No glory in the losses, no romance in the pain, just respect for every soul that kept walking through the rain. Mama lived somewhere warmer, got flowers by the door, still asks if I'm eating like she did before. Says don't let recognition make a stranger of your heart. Remember remember who you were before they praise you for your art. So I keep my flow steady, the dusty drums breathe. Keep truth in every sentence, keep my roots underneath. Success is coming home with your spirit still free, and the light in the window where your people used to be.
Porch light memories, dust in the groove. Old pain in the rhythm, but the heart still moves. We made peace with the night, found a song in the rain, turned a handful of struggle into something that remained. Though the street signs change and the years roll by, I still see those windows when I close my eyes. Every road that I travel somehow carries me back to those porch light memories. Old street, old street, old street, old street. New Year's. Old street, old street, old street. Same light in the window. Oh, same soul in the mirror.
Yeah. City after midnight. Truth moves different in the dark. Let it breathe. Yeah. Whoa. Yeah. Blue smoke on Linux, rain stuck to the glass. Street sweeper, humming through the ghosts of the past. I was posted by the window with the room lights low, watching strangers chase a place they were afraid to go. Old gospel on the sample, voice cracked with grace, while the rose lay shadows underneath the bass. My man Lou kept the flask in the sleeve of his coat, had a joke for the block and a storm in his throat. He said, everybody loves you when your pockets look right, but the truth counts faces when you're losing the fight. Then he stared down the avenue, jaw set tight, like he saw his whole life in the tail of a light. We were young with old eyes, moving calm through the noise, learning men hide pain like they once hid toys. No medals for survival, no applause in the hall, just your name in the morning if you made it at all.
Blue smoke on Linux,
moon over the lane.
every window holds a secret,
Every sidewalk holds a name.
just inside the rhythm,
Cold truth in the air,
we were looking for salvation,
like we knew it waited there.
the city keeps its silence,
While the saxophone moans,
and the night feels the heaviest
when you're walking it alone. Yeah. Years past, I saw Lou by the church on the hill. Same slow little smile, but his hands wouldn't still. He said, I lost some seasons trying not to feel pain. Now I'm learning every shelter ain't protection from the rain. We sat beneath the awning while the taxis rolled by. Two men trading memories we were trained to deny. He said, my son won't call me, says I chose the street. I said, pride builds a wall, but regret pours the concrete. He laughed without joy, then he looked at his phone. Said, what do I say after leaving him alone? I said, start with the truth, let the silence get cut. I was wrong and I love you might be more than enough. The sax cried low as he dialed that name. Rain touched the pavement like a soft blue flame. I walked off slowly, let him speak from the heart. Some nights don't fix you, but they give you a start. Now I call my own people when the hour gets deep, cause love left unspoken turns to trouble in your sleep. Let the dusty drums knock, let the old rose confess. A man ain't less strong when he admits he's a mess.
Blue, blue, blue smoke on Lennox,
Moon over the lake,
every window holds a secret,
every sidewalk holds a name.
just inside the rhythm,
Cold truth in the air,
oh, we're looking for salvation,
like we knew it waited there.
oh, the city keeps its silence,
While the saxophone moans,
but the road feels
when you don't walk it alone, yeah. Rain on the avenue, grace in a phone call. Sometimes
strongest thing a man can do is let the wall fall.
some doors close, but love leaves the light on.
Let it breathe.
Let it breathe. Yeah. 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 Porch light still burning at 3:15. Mama left it glowing like she knew it was me. Rain on my jacket, old pain in my chest. City kept moving, but I needed some rest. I was chasing big dreams through the smoke and the noise, trying to speak like a man with the heart of a boy. Had a few folded dollars in a verse in my coat. Every line kept me warm when the winter wind broke. Upstairs, little sister had her books by the bed. Said she wanted college, kept the vision in her head. I promised I would help, though my pockets were thin.
Sometimes hope is a fight that you quietly win.
Mama poured some coffee, never asked where I've been. Just looked at my face like she saw through the skin. Said the street gives you lessons, but it charges you twice.
Don't confuse being hard with forgetting what's right.
That sentence hit deep while the soul sample cried.
Soft guitar in the room,
oh, regrets in my side. I had spent all my youth
trying not to look weak,
but the strongest kind of love
never needed to speak. Ooh, the porch light still burning.
Yeah.
When the whole world turns away, there's a place that remembers who you were before the pain. When your road gets heavy,
yeah.
When your faith begins to fall, come home through the darkness. There's still love inside these walls.
Yeah. Yeah. Years later, same block, but the paint look new. Different names on the mailbox, different faces passing through the old record shop. Had a pharmacy sign, but I still heard the drums from another lifetime. My sister got a degree, mama framed it in gold. Said, look what can happen when the promise gets sold. She was teaching young children near the Avenue train, showing kids how to dream through the windows in rain. I thought about the nights when the lights got cut, when we shared one blanket and pretended it was luck. When dinner came late, but the laughter came first, and mama made a blessing from the edge of the worst. Now I know being rich ain't the shine on your wrist. It's having one address where your name still exists, where the door opens wide when your pride won't bend, where they know every flaw and still call you a friend. So I rap for the people keeping families whole, giving more than they have, carrying more than they show. For their hands washing uniforms late in the sink, for the tired eyes smiling so the children don't think. Let the bass roll deep, let the soft strings rise, let the warm female voices float behind every line. We survive, I remember when the cold winds start. Home ain't just a building, it's a light in the heart.
Ooh, the porch light's still burning.
Yeah.
When the whole world turns away, there's a place that remembers who you were
name.
Hey, mama left the light on, so I could always find my way. Come home, come home, yeah, come home.
Yeah. Dusty drums, late night strings, old block, old pain, new prayer. Let it ride. I was raised where the sirens sang low in the rain, where the street lights blink like they knew our names. Mama had hope in the worn out Bible. Daddy had silence, cold and vital. Stoop side lessons, dice on the crepe. Young boys dreaming past the iron gate. Bass from a window, soul sample crying. Everybody smiling, but inside surviving. I learned real quick what the sidewalk knew. Gold don't shine if the heart ain't true. Saw friends chase paper, saw nights turn cold. Saw love get traded for a little fool's gold. But I kept my rhythm, kept my pen close. Turned every scar into a late night toast. Now the guitar hums and the horn stabs clean like a memory. Walking through a brownstone dream. Brownstone dreams under city lights. Old school pain in a velvet night. Boom bap knocking, let the bass line breathe. Every dusty loop got a piece of me. I move real slow, but my soul still rides. Got street born truth and a heart full of pride. When the rain comes down on the avenue scene, I close my eyes to my brownstone dream. Used to want the crown, now I want the calm. Used to hide pain in the two-line song. Corner boys laughing with the world on their back. Train tracks shaking while the sky turned black. Big coats, cold hands, warm liquor breath. We dance with life while we walk near death. But the block had soul, yeah, the block had grace. Even in the cracks, you could see God's face. Old heads told me, son, don't rush. Fast money burns, real love don't crush. I ain't always listen at the fall sometimes. Had to lose my way just to own my mind. Now I rap with a calm like the late night train. Smooth with the truth, still rough with the pain. Strings in the back like the soft confession. Every bar I drop is a street life lesson. Brownstone dreams under city lights. Old school pain in a velvet night. Boom bap knocking, let the bass line breathe. Every dusty loop got a piece of me. I move real slow, but my soul still rides. Got street born truth and a heart full of pride. When the rain comes down on the avenue scene, close my eyes to my brownstone dreams. Soft strings weak when the record spins. Old ghost smile when the night begins. Tape hits talking like a voice from home, saying you ain't lost, you just walked alone. Now I see my past in the window glass. Young me running with a dream too fast. Had no map, just a beat and a prayer. Fresh white sneakers on the broken stair. I carried the names that the world forgot. Every lost soul from the old school block. Pour out peace where the flowers grow. For the ones who left but still riding the flow. I ain't rich in the way that the rich man speaks, but I got old love in these city streets. Got the baseline deep and the story clean. Got a heart still loyal to the brownstone dream. Brownstone dreams under city light. Old school pain in a velvet night. Boom bap knocking, let the bassline breathe. Every dusty loop got a piece of me. I move real slow, but my soul still rides. Got street born truth and a heart full of pride. When the rain comes down on the avenue scene, close my eyes to my brownstone dreams. Yeah, for the docs that raised us, for the nights that made us, for the dreams that stayed with us. Boom, back, forever. Yeah. Black rain on the fire escape. Rose bleeding through the wall. Old gospel chopped in the dark. This one for the nights that don't talk back. Black rain sermon on a cold street corner. Dusty drums knock like a midnight warning. Deep sub bass where the old pain sleep. Saxophone crying through the cracked concrete. Lord, carry me, don't let me fall. Black rain sermon, shadows on the wall. Still heard heaven when the city got raw. I came from dim halls where the pain stayed peeling. Young heart numb, but the soul still feeling. Mama kept prayers in the drawer by the bed. Bills on her mind, but loving what she said. Roads caused moan from a room downstairs. Like the keys knew the weight of our prayers. Dust on the snare, kick low and mean. Sub bass moving like a ghost unseen. Old heads outside with the collars turned high, talking street truth while the night rolled by. They said, son, every shortcut got a toll. So I walk real slow with my hand on my soul. I see hope get bent, but it never broke clean. Seen kings lose crowns for a fast little dream. With the sax blew soft through the liquor store light, like mercy still lived in the middle of the night. Through the rain, through the smoke, keep my heart here, keep my soul. Corner store glow on a wet black avenue. Everybody hiding what they really been through. One man laughing with pain in his chest. One kid writing bars just to breathe through stress. I had loose change dreams in a borrowed coat. A notebook full of things that I never spoke. Vinyl noise spinning like the past came near. Every crackle in the sample made the memory clear. Some friends chase peace, some chase paper. Some turned ghosts in the city fog later. Some found work, some found change. Some left names that still walk in the rain. I ain't here shining like the dark was sweet. I'm just telling how we stood on broken feet. Minimal groove, but the feeling run deep. Broad street soul when the whole block sleep. Let that sax breathe. Let the roads stay dirty. Some stories don't need bright lights. They just need truth, bass, and a little mercy. Black rain sermon on the cold street corner. Dusty drums knock like a midnight warning. Deep sub bass where the old pain sleep. Saxophone crying through the cracked concrete. Lord, carry me, don't let me fall. Black rain sermon, shadows on the wall. Still heard heaven when the city got a roar. Ooh, Lord, carry me. Black rain, low bass, roads in the dark. Still breathing, still here.
Late nights, old roads. Some memories still follow you home.
Yeah. I remember that apartment with the cracks in the wall. Mama singing in the kitchen when the winter came hard. She was stretching every dollar, keeping fear out of face, turning struggle into something that still felt like grace. I was writing in the hallway with my back to the door, trying to find a little meaning in the life that we saw. Every train shook the windows, every siren spoke loud, but I promised I would rise without forgetting the crowd. My brother told me, keep going when the road gets thin. A loss ain't the end, and if you learn where to begin. Then he left me cold, even with a bag and a plan. Now I hear his his old advice every time that I stand.
Where the street lights fade, I can still see home. Every voice that I loved, every road that I've known, I still feel them near.
In the rhythm of the night,
in the truth that I hear. Where the street lights fade, let the old soul play. For the ones who kept believing when I lost my way. Through the joy and pain,
some love stays forever,
even after things change.
Yeah. Years pass slowly, then they vanish too fast. Now the neighborhood looks like a picture from the past. The old shop on the corner got a brand new sign, but I still see the faces that were standing there in time. I saw Miss Rose by the station with her silver gray hair. She said your mama would be proud that you remembered the kid. That sentence hit deep like the kick in the track. Had me walking through the rain with my memory stack. I thought success meant leaving every hardship behind, but the farther that I travel, more I carried inside. Every friend that I lost, every promise I broke, every dream we kept alive when the whole city smoked. So I don't rap for the image or the shine of a chain. I put my heart in the verse, let the truth hold the pain. For the kids in small rooms with their eyes on the sky, you can come from almost nothing and still learn how to fly.
Ooh, keep holding on, even when the road feels empty and the daylight is gone. Every scar has a name, but the heart keeps beating, and the soul stays the same. Yeah, the street lights fade, I can still see home. Every voice that I loved, every road that I've known, I still feel them near.
In the rhythm of the night,
in the truth that I hear. Where the street lights fade, let the old soul play. For the ones who kept believing when I lost my way. Through the joy and pain,
some love stays forever,
even after things change. Ooh, yeah. Old streets, warm memories, same soul. Even when the street lights fade.
saxophone breeze low, vinyl crackle, Rose hums in the back. Yeah. Tenement lights blinking, midnight air heavy, dust on the drums, soul in the walls. Tenement lullaby, sung through the pipes, rose chords bleeding under dim hallway lights. Deep sub bass where the old goes live. Yeah, dusty drums knocking while the years roll by. Lord, carry me through the dark I see. Yeah, tenement lullaby, cold window frame. Every cracked wall still remembers my name. I came from stairwells smelling like smoking old rain. Little kids laughing through a whole lot of pain. Mama on the third floor, counting loose change. Still made love feel like nothing was strange. Roads in the background, moody and bruised, like the keys knew every bill overdue. Dusted kit snapping with a dry little swing. Sub bass low like a buried old thing. Old man downstairs play chess by the gate, said, son, move wise, don't dance with fate. He had war in his eyes and calm in his hands, like he lost half his life but still chose to stand. Sax came soft from a bar down the street, bent every note like Tide City feet. In the gospel chop, cried through the midnight blue. Sounded like heaven had a room there too.
Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Don't let your heart turn stone. Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. You're never walking alone.
Corner boys posted where the blue lights pass. Dreams in their pockets, fear under the mask. Everybody tough till the silence get loud. Everybody lonely in the fast-moving crowd. I wrote slow bars on the paper bag fold, trying to keep warm where the world felt cold. Vinyl hits spinning like a ghost in the room. Every little crackle brought back old wounds. Some friends found work, some found change, some found God in the middle of the flames. Some disappeared where the night don't forgive. Some left stories that still breathe and live. I ain't here polished, I ain't here bright, just a deep voice walking through a low street light. Minimal groove, but the truth cut wide. Raw NYC with the pain inside. Let the drums drop out, let the roads stay dark. Sometimes the building remembers more than people do. Every door slam, every prayer, every mother try not to cry too loud. Yeah, that's where the song comes from.
Tenement lullaby.